Shalom. I'm back. But there's only one problem. Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24 contradicts that verse. It reads, "But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel." Since we know that the Bible does not contradict itself, we need to find out why Yahuwah says he loved the world in one place, but then in another place he only sends his spirit to save the lost sheep of Israel. Now, turning our attention to Yeshua's name just for a minute, his name is Yah Salvation, because before he was even born, the Most High said that he would send him to this world, and his name would mean what he came to do, and which is save his people. Now, all of this can't be a coincidence as you're reading the entire manuscript, in which what they call is the Old Testament and New Testament. You know, the way that Yahushua's name tie in together with the Father's, this can't be a coincidence, you know, for all of you who don't believe in the Hamashiach. Now, before he was even born, we can see here in Matthew chapter 1 and verse 21 that his name would be Yahshua. Let's read it. It says, "And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushua, or Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins." So you can see that even before he was born, his name was Yahushua, Yah Salvation, because the Most High had already planned to send his spirit in the flesh to save his people.
And boy do we need saving.
Chapter 9, Cain and Abel. Begin all acts and thinking by using El Kalim the All. Tablet 1, Cain and Abel. 19 times 5 equals 95. Lo, it is stated that every time Nekeba, who was in the image of the Anunnaki Elohim, would give birth, she would bear a male and female child together called twins, from Middle English, from Old English twin, meaning twofold, except in the case of their son Seth. Cadman and Nekeba dwelt on the earth working in order to continue in the well-being of their bodies, and there was an appointed hour, in an appointed day, in an appointed month, when Cadman aged 21 and Nekeba aged 18 were to give birth. However, they were beguiled and enticed by Nakash, and they did indulge in sexual intercourse out of due time. For when she, Nekeba, partook of the forbidden fruit, the tree created an addiction and lustful desire through its intoxication. She gave the fruit to her mate Cadman also, and both their eyes were opened, and they then knew shame, for they were naked. Then they heard the voice of the Yahuwah Elohim Kalkael, son of Araziel and Rafikiel, while they were still laid in caress. And he was walking in the enclosed garden in midday, speaking with the other Yahwehans Elohim. The wind blew, and Cadman and Nekeba tried to hide from the face of the Yahwehans in the midst of the trees in the enclosed garden. A Yahuwah of the Elohim Kalkael called out to Cadman Adam, and he said, "Where are you hiding?" Cadman said, "I heard your voice speaking in the enclosed garden, and I was afraid out of reverence because I was naked. So that's the reason why I was hiding myself, and it was no other reason." The Elohim Kalkael said, "Who taught you about nakedness? Did you eat of the tree which I commanded you that you shouldn't eat? Have you done that which the Most High Anu has commanded of you not to do?" And Cadman said, "Nekeba, whom you gave me, she gave it to me, and I betook of it."
I didn't do it. She gave it to me, which you shouldn't have listened to her, but she gave it to me. The woman that you created. That's why we call him the B word today, because, and I'm not saying you should, but bitch, you gonna go. The woman was never told, what not to do, and what it was given to us, the men, which is the rightful order. So Adam, that was on you, and you, my great father. You know I love you, but that was on you. So every time things go bad with us, the people who are of Adam and Eve, well, all y'all is. All y'all on the planet is from Adam and Eve, because that's how y'all all come out of, them. But some of y'all got cursed and y'all lost y'all melanin. But I'm looking at you like, you the reason. And I'm not saying, I would act on that, but that's in the back of my mind. Like, you the reason.
Of the Elohim said to Nekeba Hawa, "What is this you have done?" Nekeba answered, and she said, "Nakash, son of Shakara Melita, deceived me into consuming it. This is a great thing you have done, a great wrong." But Nekeba, or Cadman, knew that she had given birth in her womb. Because Cadman knew Nekeba, she became pregnant. She became pregnant for the fulfillment of 9 months, and then Nekeba, childbearing were ended. The time drew near when she must be delivered. Then she said unto Cadman, "This cave is a pure spot by reason of the signs. We should rot in it since we left the garden, and we shall again make tafalat in it. It is not meet, then, that I should give birth in it. Let us rather repair to that of the sheltering rock, which Nakash hurled at us when he wished to kill us with it. But that it was held up and spread as an awning over us by the command of Elionel, and he formed a cave. Then Cadman removed Nekeba to that cave, and when the time came that she should bring forth, she had travailed greatly. So Cadman was sorry, and his heart suffered for her sake, for she was nigh unto death, that the word of Elionel to her should be fulfilled. In suffering will you bear a child, and in sorrow will you bring forth the child. But when Cadman saw the state in which Nekeba was, he arose and prayed to Elionel, and he said, Elionel, look upon me with the eye of your mercy, and bring her out of her distress. Elionel looked at his maidservant Nekeba, and he delivered her, and he brought forth her firstborn son and daughter, twins. It was a natural function that whenever a male being would fertilize an ovum or the egg, there would be a pairing of one of the X chromosomes of the female living being. This produced an XX female living being. Then the remaining Y chromosome of the male living being would pair off with the other X chromosome of the female living being, and it would produce an XY, or male living being. Thus the male living being and female living being twins are produced. Each fetus develops into an individual with similar intelligence, because Nekeba was originally supposed to bear fraternal twins each time she conceived. She was equipped with 2 mammary glands. With these mammary glands, she would be able to support both children with the necessary colostrum fluid in order to survive and grow properly. The birth of the twins. Then Cadman rejoiced at Nekeba's deliverance and conception, and also over the children she had bore him. Cadman ministered unto Nekeba in the cave until the end of 8 days, when they named the son Cain, meaning possession, and the daughter Labuda, or Lalula, meaning staying together. Cain became known as the rebellious one, the hater, because he hated his sister while they were in the mother's womb, and he was the firstborn of the 2. Therefore Cadman named him Cain, also Cain meaning possessor. But the twin sister Lalula also means beautiful, because she was more beautiful than her mother. Then Cadman and Nekeba waited until Cain and his sister were 40 days old, when Cadman said to Nekeba, "We will make an offering and offer it up on behalf of the children." Nekeba said, "We will make one offering for the firstborn son, and afterwards we shall make one for the daughter." Then Cadman...
This when everything was pure, back then, like, it was only black people on planet Earth at this time. And you had Adam. Adam was tall. Adam was 7 foot tall, dark, handsome, weavy hair. And Eve was 4'8" to be exact. Like, she was like a lighter skinned, thick. I'm talking about Eve was a gorgeous woman. I'm talking about y'all don't know. Thick. I'm talking about the jigger when she walk. But Cain wasn't see, Eve, I guess you would say cheated on Adam. Yes, back then. So these women been doing this. And if she didn't cheat on him, where did that bad gene come from? I don't know. But these Cain and his seed they were black. The first batch of them were black. They turned white later when they got cursed. They melanin got took, and not even really what they did on this planet. They got cursed way before they even came down to planet Earth. But yeah, it was pure back then. And this idiot gonna kill his brother. So you wonder why black people can't come together. It's two seeds. It's the seed of the devil mixed in with us, and they trying to be around. I know them. I could look at them and tell. Some of them are your rappers, yes. Y'all Cain seed, because Cain was black, but the 12 tribes of Canaan, the white ones, they came a lot later. Who is the people that's saying that they, the chosen people of God, but they're lying. Synagogue of Satan. But then there's a group of Negroes. Look up the Pope kissing black feet. That's the real people that's in charge of the planet Earth. That's the Cain, the original Cain seed. And they've been ruling for a while, using white folks as their slaves, if you will. Their military. This and that. Yeah, so it's like that, and I know these niggas. I'm starting to remember you niggas. And some of them came mixed in with us. Like, not all of them live in gated communities in Utah, known as the Black Mormons. In New Orleans, in gated communities, in New York, in gated communities, underground in Switzerland. Not all of them, even though they don't like us black people, not all of them. The smart ones don't live by us, but they got some of the idiots, the low-level demons that they say, okay, I'm gonna come and live amongst them, and that's the ones that's the niggas always calling police on people. They just gotta hate amongst them. Like, they hate black people. They all, like back in times when we were finna attack people that was attacking us. They like, nah, you gotta watch these Negroes, man. They not us. They look like us, but they not us. I mean, I could tell the difference now because my eyes is definitely starting to get open. I'm gonna tell y'all one way to know these niggas. Cain seed, right? Because they look like us. So close your eyes and listen to them talk. It's gonna sound like a white person talking because they're the original white people. White people come from them. The whole, how when we think of white people all proper and preppy, that come from black people. I know I shouldn't even say this, and I love this woman. She's sexy. But Diamond Jackson, she's a porn star. That's one of them. These niggas were really from other planets, come on now, we all watch porn. That was one of my favorite porn stars, Diamond Jackson, because I liked the way she, what I'm saying? But I'm always running into them. Like, I was with one of their daughters, like, and like she can't listen to me because she's a devil. Like, you know, she's part of Cain. Well, I'm gonna be right. That girl that I was with, I don't think she was part of them. I think she was possessed by, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think she was them because they just so hateful. Like, oh my God, like, um, you know.
And prepared the offering, and he and the Necaba offered it up for their children, and they brought it to the altar they had built at first. Cadman offered up the offering and besought Elionel to accept his offering. Then Elionel accepted Cadman's offering, and she told him of what Cain had done. But Cadman grieved and held his peace, and he said no word. Then on the morrow, Cadman, the son of the Elohim, the child of green light, because of his good heart and pure body, there was no trace of guile in him. Then they came down from the altar. They went into the cave in which they dwelt. But Abel, by reason of his joy having made his offering, he repeated it, for he took no pleasure into the order of the Amalekites. Then Cadman said to Necaba, behold, the children are grown up. We must think of grandchildren. It is best for Abel to marry Labuda, and Cain to marry Aclamia. This.
By the way, Cain and Abel had twin sisters. That was gonna be their wives. These folks don't tell you the truth about a lot of things. They leave things out. You know, yes, Adam and Eve, they had twins, and they actually had 44 children in all because they had 22 sets of twins. They don't tell you that as well. So yeah, it is a lot. But yeah, Cain killed Abel. Cain was supposed to marry Abel, twin sister, and vice versa. But Cain, he was a devil from the beginning, and he was black. He just couldn't get with it, you know. So he killed Abel to stop him from marrying his sister. And it was a sad situation. And after he killed him, he was cursed, and all his kids and everybody, you know. And Adam and Eve, actually, it was a whole sad situation. Adam and Eve separated for 7 years after that. After he killed Abel, and they then came together, and they was, I think, commanded by the angels to have another kid, and they didn't want to because of what had happened, you know. And they end up having another son to marry their daughters, because Cain took his twin sister and he left and went to the land of Nod, land of Nod, land of nudity. That's the land of Nod was the 200 fallen had set up back then. The 200 fallen angels, which would be the city. This was the country life. That's where they were. They was in the country, but the land of Nud was what the 200 fallen angels had set up. So that should tell you a little bit about cities and who set them up, and you know what's going on in it, you know, and stuff like that. You know, they're not farmers. They're not Adam and Eve. They was like farmers and stuff like that, and or living like in the wilderness. They wasn't out in the city. So Cain and Cain was scared. You coward. You know I don't mess with you. I never did. You know, you coward. You killed your brother, and then you were scared to go to the land of Nod because the 200 fallen and their children. They were killers, rapists, all that. But you killed your brother, and then you were scared to go around the people that's like you, nigga. What type of dude is you, bruh?
This is how it was told to me by the Elohim. Then the Caber said to Cadman, I do not like Cain, because he is hard-hearted, but let them abide, until we offer up unto Elionel on their behalf. Cadman said no more. Meanwhile, Shaitan came to Cain in the image of a man of the
Eve said, I do not like Cain because he's hard-hearted. His old mama didn't like it.
Field, and he said to him, Behold, Cadman and the Caber have taken counsel together about the marriage of you two, and they have agreed to marry Abel's sister to you, and your sister to him. But if it were not that I love you, I would not have told you. Will you take my advice and hearken unto me? I will bring you on your wedding day beautiful robes, gold and silver in plenty, and my relations will attend to you. Then Cain said with joy, Where are your relations? Nakash answered, My relations are in a garden in the north, where I once meant to bring your father Cadman, but he would not accept my offer. But if you will receive my words, and if you will come unto his son, take of your sheep, young and good, the wishes of the Elohim on the day of rest. But the Elohim did had befallen him. Cadman grieved much, because Elion, things of which you did tell me. Where are the sheep of yours that you did tell me to bless? Then Cain said to him, Come on, and presently you will see many beautiful things. Go before me until I catch up to you. Then Abel went forward, but Cain remained behind him, and Abel was walking in his innocence, without guile, not believing his brother would kill him. Then Cain, when he came unto him, confronted him with his talk, walking a little behind him. Then he hastened and smote him with the staff, blow after blow, 3 times until he was on the ground. But when Abel fell down upon the ground, seeing that his brother meant to kill him, he said to Cain, O my brother, have pity on me. By the same breast have we sucked, smite me not. By the same parents that bear us, and that brought us into this world, smite me not unto death with that staff. If you will kill me, take one of those large stones and kill me outright. Then Cain, the hard-hearted and cruel murderer, took 3 large stones and smote.
This nigga killed his younger brother, nigga. It wasn't his older brother, it was his younger brother. Yeah, we know who y'all are. Y'all hiding out in Utah. Black Mormons.
His brother whipped him upon his head 3 times.
That's them same niggas.
And he weltered in his blood before him. Cain stood.
Well, that's just one place they hide out. They everywhere. Like, they infiltrated everywhere. Like, some of them are our brothers and sisters. Like,
over Abel, and he made sure he was dead. Cain repented not of what he had done, but the earth with the blood of the righteous Abel fell upon it, trembled, and it drank his blood, and would have brought Cain to naught for it. The blood of Abel cried mysteriously to Elionel to avenge him of his murder. Then Cain began to wonder at once what shall be done with his brother's dead body, for he was trembling from fear which came upon him when he saw the earth tremble on his account. A wicked plan is carried to a tragic conclusion. Cain is frightened. Am I my brother's keeper? The 7 punishments piece is shattered. After watching the mischief of the fowl and how it did bury his dead, he then cast his brother into the pit that he made and covered him with dust. But the earth would not receive him, but it threw him up at once. Again, Cain dug up the earth and hid his brother in it, but again the earth threw him up on itself, and the earth threw up the body of Abel 3 times. The muddy earth threw him up the first time because he was not the first creation, and it threw him up the second time and would not receive him because he was righteous and good, and he was killed without a cause. Then the earth threw him up a 3rd time and would not receive him, so that he would be a witness before his brother.
the earth said, I don't want no parts of that.
Against him, it was so that the earth not Cain, until the word of Elionel came to him concerning his brother. From then was Elionel angry, and much displeased at Abel's death. He caused a great thunder from heaven, and lightning went before him from the great craft that did hover above us the throne. The word of the Yahuwah of the Elohim Gabriel Nisku said to Cain, Where is Abel our brother? Then Cain answered him with a gruff voice and said, I don't know. Am I supposed to know every whereabouts whereabouts of my brother? Am I responsible for him? How, O Yahuwah, am I my brother's keeper? Then the Anunakai Elohim Nusku, also known as Gabriel, said unto Cain, Cursed be the earth that has drunk the blood of Abel your brother, and all the heavens were saddened by this. Tablet 5. Cain is confronted by the Elohim for his actions. 19 times 3 equals 57. Lo, what is this you have done? The voice of your brother's blood splashing upon the planet Earth sounds out to me. Look at you, you're trembling and shaking. This will be a sign unto you. Because of this, you and your seed are cursed from the very ground which is open.
He trembling and shaking. When these angels or these extraterrestrials, that's the same thing. Angels, extraterrestrials, same thing. This dude is shaking in his boots. Nigga, you just... See, I'm built different. Like, if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna stand on it. Like, yeah. But these people, they do things and they shake it and they scared. But he didn't get judged right then. Now they coming up on their judgment. You know, it's already started. They ain't seen nothing yet. But back then he didn't get judged because he was going to be used for a specific task, if you will, since he did what he did, you know. So they was put in charge for, like, I think, 6,000 years.
Receive your brother's blood by your own hand. Whenever you try to farm the ground from this day forward, it will not grow its best for you. You will become a fugitive and wanderer, a Nodai of the black devils. Cain was afraid of being killed by those tribes that lived in Nod, a province of the city of Urak, or Erech, or Arath, outside the enclosed garden, and he said to Gabriel, Yahuwah, this punishment is far too great for me. Behold,
no.
You have evicted me from being a farmer in my own part of the planet Earth, and you have severed me from having access to your presence without a baropheric land. I will be hidden, and I will become a fugitive and wanderer.
So yeah, back then we had what you call, and some of us got it right now. It's called a barotheric gland, right? What that was is it gave us access in contact with angels, if you will, extraterrestrials, all that. But after that, after what happened, we lost it, you know. And that's our purpose, is to gain it back. Like, people asking, like you ask yourself, why are we here? Like, what's the whole purpose? The purpose is to prove the devil wrong, because he said that we weren't worthy of getting back into heaven, which is why he trying to get us to do wrong things. Everything is set up for us to overeat, you know, overdo this, over that, do that. Everything is set up. He's trying to prove to the Most High that we are not worthy of getting back into heaven, and we got here to prove him wrong, you know. Well, it's much more to it than that, but that's like a, you know.
Throughout the planet Earth, I'm in my own part of the planet Earth, and you have severed me from having access to your presence without a baropheric land. I will be hidden, and I will become a fugitive and wanderer throughout the planet Earth. In time, any of those people who live outside the enclosed garden in Nod will find my disguise and they will kill me. Gabriel Nusku Yahuwah said to Cain, it will be known that anybody outside the enclosed garden that kills you, I will have a grudge 7 times. So as a sign, Gabriel Nusku put fingerprints and a birthmark in the form of a cross on Cain. From that point on, Adamites had fingerprints as a sign that each one may be known. It's the Elohim's means of keeping record. But Cain wept because Gabriel Zadok had said those words to him. Because before this, Gabriel Zadok had been saying to Cain, I will inflict 7 punishments on those who kill Cain, 1 for each of the evil spirits that possessed you. For as the words of Gabriel Zadok to Cain, if Cain had repented at the time and said, O Elionel, forgive me for my sin, and as to Elionel saying to Cain, cursed be the ground that has drunk the blood of your brother, that also was Elionel's mercy on Cain, for Elionel did not curse him, but the ground, although it was not the ground that had killed Abel and had committed iniquity, for it was meet that the curse should fall upon the murderer. Yet in mercy, Gabriel Zadok managed his thoughts so that no one would know it and turn away from Cain. He said unto him, and through this sign did Elionel make an example before all creation, as the murderer of his brother. Elionel brought trembling and terror upon him, so that he might see the peace in which he was at first, and he would also see the trembling and terror he endured at the last, so that he might humble himself before Elionel and repent of his sins, and seek the peace he enjoyed at first. In the word of Elionel that said, I will forego 7 punishments on whoever kills Cain. Gabriel Zadok was not seeking to kill Cain with a sword, but he sought to make him die of fasting and praying and weeping by hard rule, until the time he was delivered from his sin. And the 7 punishments are the 7 generations during which Gabriel Zadok awaited the rebirth of Cain as Tubal Cain, for the murder of his brother. But as to Cain, ever
they was waiting on Cain to be reincarnated. You still gonna get it, Cain. Cain got it. His first life did his.
since he had killed his brother, he could not find no rest in any place, so he went back to Cadman and Akaba, trembling, terrified, and defiled with blood. Yet, never once did he say, I regret. Akaba asked, how could you do such a thing? He answered, the love you favoured him over me did the actual killing. The preference you gave him to me did the killing. The kiss you never gave me did the killing. The smile from Cadman I never received did the killing. I am merely a product of my environment. I am not responsible for my own actions. These accusations caused great grief and sorrow in the hearts of both Cadman and Akaba, and they turned to each other and accused one another. Cain merely laughed and succeeded in his second assignment to cause dissension between the loved ones.
That devil, boy, you been a devil from the beginning. He laughed. That's crazy. Tribes Cannan.